Hey, thanks everyone, and especially, to all new subscribers. I really appreciate it. I've been trying to reach a lot of you in this world, um, to show you the research. Check it out, my friends. Want to see something really cool? I'm always talking about the Terminator line. Well, look at this crater that often looks like a spaceship when it is on the Terminator line. Let's look at it when it's over here to see the difference in elevation. Isn't it incredible? Look at the two differences on top and on bottom, where you can see that object that, let's call it a spaceship like object, right? It's an elongated boulder like object. We assume they're boulders. What else could it be? And even so, why would a boulder be so elongated and just sitting there? It really does look like an object that is out of place, and we can't help but wonder, thinking maybe it landed there. That's what I like to say sometimes. And thank you so much for appreciating yesterday's video. My friends, look back though. There's a lot of better videos, like incredibly detailed videos about UFOs on the moon on this channel. Look through it, binge watch the videos if you want. Thanks so much. I'm seeing a lot of amazing comments. I'll be answering more comments in a day or two because I'm getting a lot of really amazing comments and supportive comments, like usual, right? But a lot of newcomers, and I really appreciate that. So UFOs on the moon. Hear me out, trolls. I'm going to show you three objects following each other. It's a triangular shape. They're positioned at the same distance to one another, and they're panning across the moon. Those of you who are telling me that I'm looking at spots or it's following the telescope, it's not cool. You see the circle moving by. It's actually going faster than what I'm panning on the surface. So these UFOs are going faster. Watch this. Really cool. UFO comes in, right? Really cool. Blurry? Sure. That's the secret, my friends. But look at the other one coming in. So we can see the proof and analyze them. Let's see that again. UFO comes in, and another one's going to follow it over top. I brought the exposure down, and you clearly see it's the moon, and right? And, it's blurry. But why is it blurry? It's the movement. There's an oscillation, and not between Earth and the moon, my friends, on the moon. All right. I hope it's not daytime. I hope you're looking at this in the dark, and I hope you cleaned your screen. I swear to you, because you'll see nothing. This is it's three objects going by, but they are keeping the same distance to one another. And notice, of course, even though it's going towards the same way that the UFOs are going, my telescope is panning in the same direction. The UFOs are gaining speed and are going to leave out to the left side. Here's with the green filter. And why am I mentioning that? Well, just quite simply because it's proof, right? Had a couple of silly trolls that I know they know themselves that it's not spots in the screen, but they're saying they are. And by simply explaining to people, you can know for yourselves. You don't have to depend on what the trolls are saying, because this object is really over the moon. And when I say over the moon, it's over the moon. I'm close up, pressed up. You can clearly see the structures and craters on the surface are even too big to even be able to focus in on. Look at the colors on the moon and watch this. On the surface, there are gases and hazes of different colors, and there are objects and lights that light up sometimes, and they actually move around. So let's go see that even closer. Slowed down. It's the same image you just saw. We're pressed up ridiculously close, and you could see that inside that blue haze, there are lights moving around, maybe two lights moving around on the surface. More proof. You can see them. Like these, the UFO fleet that goes by in the middle of the afternoon. You see inside the circle, this UFO, it is going across paths as it goes downwards, while the UFO spraying, leaving a trail of smoke, goes another direction. Directional change is another proof that they're not spots that I'm filming. Straight up. You see this one going towards the left, and the one over top right now is over top of it, and it's going downwards. They cross paths. These are details that I've documented in the period of my 5th year now to be able to prove that what I'm capturing is really on the moon. And the details that are around these captures are really telling us more and more each time I analyze them. And I'm getting a lot of new people here. So I get a lot of lights on the moon. And if you don't understand what I'm filming, like look at this one, for example. It's a stationary light that spontaneously illuminates a very bright red and, don't forget, circular motion. We have UFOs on the surface of the moon too, even some that look like they are firing projectiles or that projectiles are actually coming from them. Here, these UFOs are, just that should stir a lot of commotion of people and get people really interested in the research. But I can't really complain because a lot of you are here. I mean, you see these channels with millions of subscribers and stuff. Much respect to them because it is a hell of a hard job being a creator. That's for sure. It depends on how much you want to reach out, I guess. And I really want to reach out to many people. So I try. And the receptive feedback is awesome. Honestly, I don't have a word to say. Structures on the moon near Copernicus crater. Look at that. What is it? Whether it be natural or not, I mean, come on. It looks pretty obvious that tunnel's going into the ground. It was even dug out, probably mined. Maybe a shaft to go into some center of a moon, maybe that's where they're coming in and out. Maybe that's the main entrance. It could be a lot of things, right? Some people just see mountains. Well, of course there are mountains. That's the whole ideal of hiding the surface. But you come upon these structures and I don't really think, look at that going into the ground tunnel. What is it? Ejecta doesn't fly into the surface of the moon, nor does it come up out of the surface of the moon. Here too, more objects that are connected to those beautiful supposed craters. This is Rigel star in the constellation of Orion, an image that I captured. I captured many constellations, guys and gals. Leo, constellation of Sagittarius, Orion, Lyra, all the suns in Lyra. And this is a 5-star system. When somebody says, look at Rigel star, in reality, it's a star which has many systems, and get this, maybe even systems as big as our solar system inside some of these stars. And that's no jokes. They're really, really big. Here's an inversion that you could see. Look at the cross shape in the center. Those are the 5 objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the center. And you can see them very pronounced inside of that glowing light. So the reason why Rigel star is so bright is because of all those objects inside of Rigel star that are really, really bright. I took a chance. I had to get this up. I don't usually post NASA footage, but once in a while, important things. I know a few of you have mentioned this, and I've mentioned it many a times, and I want each and every one of you to know about this certain mission of NASA. This is the STS-75. The primary objective of the mission STS-75 was to carry the tethered satellite system reflight TSS-1R into orbit. It was to deploy it spaceward on a conducting tether. The mission also flew the United States microgravity payload USMP-3/3, designed to investigate materials. Yeah, look at the materials. Science and condensed matter physics. So the duration of the mission was 15 days, 17 hours, and 40 minutes. The spacecraft was the Space Shuttle Columbia. And the payload mass was 10,000, for those interested, 592 kilograms, which is 23,351 pounds. And you can basically see that rectangular object is a tether that was lost, right? It went out into space, and they're filming it as it's floating there, and you see all these interesting objects that look very creature-like around the tether. Literally looks like creatures flying around in space, like they're flying around in some type of liquid, and they must be eating the same things in that atmosphere around them, like we would see the creatures in the bottom of the ocean eating the fine organic, the organisms on the surface. It's absolutely incredible. So could some of the objects that I'm showing you in my own research be the same objects? Honestly, they have the same characteristics. Look at how the object seems to be propelling itself to advance, to move forward, and they're moving in many different directions. These objects look pretty big. If it wasn't for my amazing community, this channel wouldn't even exist. Thanks a whole bunch, everyone. I really appreciate it.
This is Houston. Say again, please.